4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to episode 34 of Filmaholics Entertainment Podcast. We are live.
1 year anniversary.
Yes, just like Brad just said there. Well, first, welcome to episode 34, everybody out there around the world. Thank you all for listening to us for the last year. I forgot what day I told you guys what it was. It was either May 24th or May 27th. We all came together. We decided we wanted to change the world, change the landscape of podcasting as we know it. And because of that, Filmaholics Entertainment Podcast was born.
Well, all the support around the world.
Yeah, all the support around the world. And I mean, I was just talking to Brad about this, Vu, and you can probably even timeline. Like, it all started from an idea of me and Vu getting drunk together.
Yeah.
From there, I tried it out with Vu. We did a review of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It was not a good episode. It's an unreleased episode. It'll be someday released, but it didn't sound very good. It's in the vault for sure. And we asked Brad to graciously, because he had a little bit of a background on podcasting. Just also, I think he's just an easygoing guy, easy to work with, and he's seen movies as most of us have. But the idea, and I think the idea that maybe has worked with people, is we're a podcast that just likes to have fun, just likes to be together, and I think that comes through on the camera. And a year later, I mean, the Fappies. I mean, we had just the original rankings. Then we moved on to tournaments. Then we did Fap GPT. And then in March, Brad and I were saying we think the Dune bucket was probably the reason or Dune or just all of it. Somehow we just started trending, and we got 300 downloads in like 1 month. So because of that, we're 13 downloads, 7 more downloads today, Vu. We're 13 downloads from 900. Boy, just congratulations on the last year. I just want to see, you have any thoughts you guys want to say of a year of podcasting together?
Best year of podcasting I think this world has seen.
Yeah.
Truly. And we're international.
Yeah.
Nobody I would rather podcast with than you boys. Like, it's been so fun. It doesn't feel like a hassle or anything. We're just hanging out, talking shop,
It really is. It's just hanging out with the boys.
Plus, my movie and TV knowledge has skyrocketed.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a fun thing. I mean, I always had this knowledge before, and you guys definitely were jumping on. I mean, I feel you guys really caught traction with it. It's funny, The Flash. I think when The Flash came out, then it started really like, oh, there's extra stuff to it. I mean, Barbenheimer, what a fun time that was together. We got to see my engagement. I mean, like that was the same episode.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. I really hadn't even told many of my friends after, because it literally happened like the day before.
Yeah.
Just a lot of fun here, and I appreciate getting to do with everybody here too. So
looking forward to the next year.
Yeah, looking forward to the next year. We've done a lot this year. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I didn't see us. I was just thinking we were gonna have fun. You know what I mean? And Brad even said himself to me, he goes, I mean, usually podcasters like us who aren't professionals may fizzle out. It's hard to commit to a full year, and we've done it. So
that's the first hurdle.
Yeah, that's the first hurdle. So hopefully this next episode, I think we have 30 listeners on Spotify. That's from what I know. We have 12 somewhere else in the world listening to us. I mean, we have a good amount of people listening. So hopefully this episode will get us over 900. And then hopefully in June, we're over that 1,000 download mark.
Shout out to all the fans, the super fans, the super chats. Send them coming.
Send them coming. The people who show up every episode looking for the shirts.
Yeah, they're coming.
They're coming. I was in Vegas. What the hell? Why did they get here?
We're still waiting, but they're coming. Don't worry.
Yeah. Logistics issues,
Yep. Boys, last episode I couldn't make it. I had been locked up in an international prison cell.
I forgot.
Up in old Canada.
Cold open.
Thank God you got out.
Yeah.
The viewers were probably concerned for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. And you know what? It's so funny that Brad, what was it in the second part of the episode? Brad goes, okay, Kevin did let us know he may be able to get a second call. I used my second call on the HBO. But I kind of wanted to start off this episode we've got a lot of movie news, but I kind of want to start off with what we ended last episode with, which was the ending of the HBO all-time, was it TV show bracket? That's what it was?
Yep.
Yeah.
Boys, could you guys give a little bit of a rundown to the people out there who may not have saw it? I know the reason why I'm here and why you guys want to finish with me. Just give a little background and just how the episode went, and and we'll dive into it. And I'm gonna turn my fan on quick, but dive into it.
Yeah, so we just created a bracket of our favorite HBO original series. So whether that be a short series, whether that be, a long 12 series run, we put our favorites in. So a lot of the highly acclaimed ones, maybe some of those weren't on the list, like Sex and the City, but all of our personal favorites made it onto the list, and we made a bracket, and it's a close one. It's a close one. I think we have Game of Thrones, and then The Rehearsal in our final.
So do you have it up in front of you guys? I think I put it on here. Yes. Okay. So what were some key upsets from last week?
Ooh.
I mean, The Rehearsal. I remember that was a big one. That the fact that it got there, I would have not predicted. Now, 9 out of 10 people would say The Rehearsal wouldn't make to the final, or that 1 out of 10.
That's right.
That takes it there.
Yeah.
I mean, this feels like VCU. This feels like gosh, Belmont. Or, I'm trying to think of what team was Jason or Gordon Hayward was on.
Butler.
This feels like a Butler situation. You know what I mean? Like,
I sent a screenshot to the unfinished bracket out to a few different groups, and there was a lot of controversy.
I bet there was. I mean, Barry. Barry getting up or moving on past Silicon Valley. I like that. Mayor of Easttown coming down to, was it you guys brought it to the roulette? Is that what it was?
Yeah, we had the horse race roulette. Yeah, I forgot we did roulette last year.
The Rehearsal upsetting The Last of Us. The Rehearsal was upsetting The Sopranos.
Yeah. Succession.
Like that, those all three could have made it to the finals.
Yeah.
It's on an incredible run right now.
It is on an incredible. Now, was there a little bit too much emotion for their run? Are they going to be a little worn out when you go against a powerhouse like Game of Thrones? Even though Game of Thrones was ranked number 12, the reason it was ranked number 12 because of Rotten Tomatoes score or IMDb. Is that what it was?
Rotten Tomatoes is what we used.
Gotcha. Or the academy.
The committee.
the committee used. Yes. Just want to confirm. So, boys, Rehearsal, Game of Thrones. I'll give you guys my perspective, but what was the reason why? Did you guys, was it one each? You guys both were kind of like, I want Rehearsal, I want Game of Thrones, or was it both kind of like,
At the end of the last episode, Brad was very passionate about Game of Thrones, and I was on the other end. I was like, that last season just was not it for me.
Could one season truly ruin Game of Thrones?
I think because it's such a buildup over all those years. I remember watching, maybe halfway through live. Mm-hmm. So every Sunday was, Game of Thrones night. And that last season I was like, what is going on? Why does it feel so rushed? And I just was not a fan. So I was very passionate about The Rehearsal.
You could say The Rehearsal had a pretty amazing ending. Actually, The Rehearsal got better as it went on.
Yeah. It was just wild.
It was wild.
So wild.
Yeah. Let's say Game of Thrones ended on such a high note. Maybe there wouldn't be a clean
The
sweep.
Rehearsal ruined a child.
There's going to be a lot of therapy.
Yeah. Honestly, if I had to say something, I honestly think the curse, to its detriment, had following The Rehearsal. That's what hurt it. I mean, I had such high expectations.
I did too.
And honestly, Nathan Fielder episode is actually one of our highest episodes. It's like number 3.
we
so
stand
funny.
Nathan here.
Yeah, we do. Keep going. Sorry, Brad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I just think like you were saying, the expectation for the curse was sky high because The Rehearsal was so good and it was so unique. How do you describe that show to anybody that has never heard of Nathan Fielder?
You can't.
You can't. So I mean, it's hard. You're comparing one elite season, perfect season, against, in my opinion, the greatest show ever in the history of humankind. That did have a downer, and it was built up. I think it was built up too much because there was so much going on. There's so many storylines in Game of Thrones that That's why George R. R. Martin hasn't written a book in 10 years, because he's probably like, holy shit, I do not know how to, get these storylines to start coming together. But I don't know. I love Nathan Fielder. We're a Nathan Fielder podcast through and through. But Game of Thrones, the cultural impact that show had, and I think how good the story was, for the most part, is what would give it the edge for me.
Okay. I completely agree. Brad, Vu, give me your thoughts on Game of Thrones quick if you can. I know, or rehearsal. I want to give it equal, I guess, but
yeah. So for Game of Thrones, like that was must-watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the country was talking about it. You know, week after week, you go to Twitter, like everybody's talking about Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. It changed the game. I mean, I really do think it changes the game for, shows stepping up their production value, just shows stepping up it won awards every single season until the final season won a lot of awards too, a lot of Emmys. So every year it was a powerhouse. Nobody could compete with it. Yeah. And I think what Brad said is like every major network is like chasing that Game of Thrones. Like what's going to be the next Game of Thrones? So just it is a cultural phenomena. You know, I can't doubt that. I just wish the last season was just a little better. Yeah. I remember thinking to myself, gosh, will there ever be another Lord of the Rings? Because before Game of Thrones, when it came to kind of like that fantasy, dragons, like that, Lord of the Rings had set the bar. And I feel like Game of Thrones, to some, surpassed it. Something that I don't think ever would have happened. So, boys, with that being said, I just don't want to take too much time because we got a lot of movie news here. And this is a very important thing to me. I feel like what you guys said last week, you guys had great points for both shows. But if you were to ask me, I think hands down, unfortunately, for The Rehearsal, it is the greatest HBO show of all time. And I think The Rehearsal had no right being in the finals, but it made it. It made it. It doesn't matter how it made it there. It got there. And that is something we always have to commend it for. At the end of the day, there will only be one Game of Thrones. And I think that because of that, no show may ever be able to reach it on HBO going forward. It's going to be a tall task. So I think HBO will represent, I think Game of Thrones will represent HBO as the greatest, the best TV series of all time. Yeah. After many nights of sleep since that last recorded episode, I think I would change my vote as well. I mean, in the time, it's very exciting. It's very exciting to bring an underdog up like that. Like you said, gosh, you look back at it. Last of Us, the Sopranos, Succession. It took out like so many heavy hitters, like,
but it deserved it.
It deserved it.
I mean, if you remember those episodes in The Rehearsal where they recreate a whole bar, where they have a house and they make it act like it's winter by doing fake snow, or they plant grocery vegetables in the ground for her to pick up. I mean, I gotta commend that effort, but I am happy Game of Thrones wins.
And you know what? Maybe give us a couple more seasons of The Rehearsal. It could be up there again. I do think this is a once in a lifetime run. I do think this is a once in a lifetime run that just happened. But you know what? Who knows? It could be back there.
Yeah. Okay, Kev, if you were there on the last episode, what round would The Rehearsal have lost it?
Probably round 1 for me. I respect it, because that was roulette as well, wasn't it? If I remember correctly.
I don't remember.
I think potentially, yeah.
You guys had a good amount of roulettes in the early stages.
And
then I listened to it. So
how far would you have Succession go, though? I'm just curious.
Finals for sure. I think I would have, because I think Succession is my number one show. That day I would have, but now that I think about it, probably Game of Thrones is the epitome. I think it's crazy where you have a show, you have an HBO which has Sopranos used to be the representation of HBO. Then Game of Thrones came in. Then I think if you ask me, Succession really did have a good case in point of beating. I mean, if you have a group of 5 guys voting, guys, I mean, I think that's really where it shows what you would think is. It's hard to do with 3, hard to do with 2 even. You'd see which shows would win, but I don't know. I think you guys did a good job.
Appreciate that, Kev.
Yeah, and I love that
means a
Barry
lot
went
to
for
us.
Yeah, no, you guys, that was a great episode. I watched it on my flight, or I listened to it on my flight to Dallas. So it was good. It was a good time. I was enjoying it. I was in the airport like, no, this got eliminated. So, good job, guys. All right, well then let's move on to our next topic, which is the news. It's been 2-3 weeks since we've been discussing news and movie news and what's going on in the business. So we're going to go into our next segment of Let Me Talk to You. And in the first segment, or the next segment, we are discussing Mershala Ali as being eyed. We got a lot of topics, so we don't have to take too much time, but I just know Mershala Ali circles new Jurassic World sequel. So I want to discuss this with you boys because I think this casting, I think he's an amazing actor. I also think him alongside Scarlett Johansson, and I know Glenn Powell almost got asked to be like the third person in this role, but he turned it down because he just didn't feel like he was adding much to it. But yeah, I mean, the article goes into the Oscar-winning actors in talks to join the new Jurassic World sequel, which is in development at Universal. Once he signs on the dotted line, he'll join the already announced cast of Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, Manuel Garcia Ruffalo, and Rupert Friend. Gareth Edwards, who directed what was that sci-fi flick we saw last year? The Creator.
Oh,
yeah, he directed The Creator, and they really hired him to be directing this because they want to see him use his CGI prowess on a cheaper budget. So the rumor is that this movie is going to be made for around 120 million or less, which is nowhere near the $260 million budget that the last 3 Jurassic Park movies have had.
I didn't even know. I thought it was just a new. I just thought they just did 3. I didn't know they were doing even more.
Yeah. So what happened is this movie apparently is going to be in between the original 3 from 1994, 1998, and 2001 or something like that, 2002. And it's between that and 2016. So it's going to be kind of in between of what had happened and leading up to Jurassic World, which I'm excited about. I guess I want to ask you guys, and the last 3 movies did make $1 billion. I do think that's partially because, one, who doesn't love watching dinosaurs eat people? I mean, but also just that classic is one of those movies that I think it may be Steven Spielberg's greatest film he's ever made myself. But what say you guys? Does this excite you? Do you like seeing Mershala Ali? Do you even like Mershala Ali? And do you even like me?
Us? Do you like us? Oh my god. Yeah, I'm very interested. I really like Mershala Ali as an actor. So I think because he just seems like he oozes class and just good acting. And so I like to see him attached to something like this. And I'm very curious what kind of storyline will fit between the two trilogies. So I'm interested.
Yeah.
But smaller budget, I'm curious.
I have not seen the newer trilogy with Chris Pratt yet. So probably need to catch up on those before I watch this one.
They're all right. Again, this is a prequel to those 3.
Okay,
so you don't actually have to see those. And they don't have the highest reviews. They've essentially, it's very similar to what happened to Star Wars Episode 7, 8, 9 is essentially what these movies are like. It was kind of Disney-fied, except of course it's Universal who does Jurassic Park. But you even see here, Jurassic Park has just grown to be huge. I mean, it's one of the biggest properties over the last 30 years. It's Universal's biggest property. It's created theme park rides. If you go to Universal Pictures, it's all Jurassic Park everywhere. There's plenty of toys with everything too. I mean, it's just one of those things where the original one was it was supposed to be like kind of a gritty horror dinosaur movie. I mean, I just recently rewatched it. It's good. I mean, that scene where they're in that Jeep and the dinosaurs are walking, the water's moving a little bit, and you're like, what's around it? And they finally show the T-Rex. It's very much like a Jaws moment where the T-Rex is out there causing mischief, but you haven't seen him yet. It did a great job with that. But now the new ones just, they've just been, I call it Disney-fied. Did you see the new ones, Brad?
I saw the first 2 of them. I haven't seen, I think it's Dominion.
Okay. Gotcha. That's the third one.
I like the story. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of government espionage, or like not government, but company espionage, and throw in cloning dinosaurs.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the old cast, Chris Pratt, and I think it almost kind of ruined his career a little bit because he became this cheesy Indiana Jones type character for them, and it kind of fed into the Chris Pratt only plays a hero guy now, and it just and I think what's her name, Bryce Dallas Howard was also the actress in it. She did a pretty good job, but I mean, she was a very unlikable character.
I mean, we'll get into it with maybe not how popular Chris Pratt is when we talk about Memorial box office weekend with Garfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, right?
Justice for Garfield.
Justice for Garfield. Yeah.
Lou fighting hard for Garfield.
Yep. I mean, Vu, did you see the original one?
Yeah. Yep,
what did you think? Has it been a long time, or do you have like a good memory of it?
Yeah, I had a fond memory. We watched it in school in my geometry class. So it has been a very long time. But I remember it being a good film.
Yeah.
So
geometry, you guys watched it in?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I don't know what the connection was.
Public school systems.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, yeah, I mean, I know myself, this is exciting to me. It seems, and they also brought in the original screenwriter or screenplay writer for it from the original Jurassic Park. So hopefully that will help with it. You know what? I don't need
2025 movie.
I think you're right. I think it is 25 movie. Why do I not know? Maybe they haven't released. No, I think you're right. I think the goal is 2025. Yep, July 2nd, 2025.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be coming out next year.
Next summer.
Another movie. I just hope that it's one of those movies where it's a little darker, a little like we said about a lot of movies this last year. Just take all the CGI. It doesn't need to have cars rolling around and space and all these nice. Just bring it back to being practical. Yeah, bring it back a little bit to horror. Kids will still see it. Everyone saw the original one. So please, Jurassic Park.
Tap Nation begs you.
Yeah, Tap Nation begs you. But please, Jurassic Park, bring it back to the original. We want old, new Jurassic Park.
I can't wait for this Jurassic Park popcorn bucket.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I hope it's T-Rex related. Or it's Chris Pratt's mouth. That would be a hint for later for one of our quicker topics.
I would have to stock up on multiple.
Yeah.
You sicko.
All right, man. Well, moving on. Now, I don't know. Have any of you guys seen Glass Onion or Knives Out?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Those are fantastic movies.
I was just going to ask, do you guys like them?
Those are fun movies.
Yeah.
Yes. So Rian Johnson, who is the director, is announcing actors left and right that look like they're going to make another star-studded cast for Knives Out. I mean, honestly, when looking at this so far, it's not completely finished, but the cast for Knives Out 3 is looking like it's about to be maybe the best cast yet. So this is another article from Entertainment Weekly. The game is once again afoot for renowned detective Benoit Blanc. It's kind of crazy that Daniel Craig has two really iconic characters, Benoit Blanc and James Bond now. I mean, I almost think Benoit Blanc might be his greatest just because it's not of the James Bond, lineage. It doesn't have all that lineage behind it. He truly has made it his own.
That's true. Like, this is original IP.
Can you name a non-James Bond or non-Knives Out Daniel Craig movie?
He was in a movie in, oh my God, not really, no.
Wasn't he in The Adventures of Tintin?
Yeah, he was. Good one.
He was? Okay. Was he in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Haven't seen that movie.
Impressed me.
Because I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry. Fans of eagerly awaited news on the third Knives Out film, and writer-director Rian Johnson delivered with a teaser announcing the film's title, Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, which apparently is a U2 song, I guess. He's named all of his songs after songs from classic rock, I guess. But he loves everything about whodunits. But one of the things I love the most is just how malleable the genre is. There's a whole tonal spectrum from Carr to Christie, and getting to explore the range is one of the most exciting things about making Benoit Blanc movies. So right now, I mean, there's not a lot of details. The movie's supposed to be shooting soon and then released on Netflix next year. So when we're looking at the cast that has come out, so again, I think, Brad, you said you saw Challengers?
I have not yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No, I've been able to.
Okay. Well, the cast. I mean, just announced today, Mila Kunis is going to be joining the cast.
Whoa.
Yep. But Josh O'Connor, fresh off of his highly acclaimed performance in the sexy sports drama Challengers, takes on a role in the third Knives Out entry. So he's one of the guys who's one of the tennis players who's in love with Zendaya. So he'll be in there. I think this is a good follow up for him. Kaylee Spaney from Civil War. Brad, you saw her in Civil War. Did you like her in Civil War?
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
She was solid in that.
Oh, so did you, Vu. You both did. Yeah, I thought she was really good in it.
So this cast is stacked.
Yeah, so so we got Mila Kunis, you got the guy up there, and then you got Kaylee Spaney. And one thing that Rian Johnson is really good about making movies like these Knives Out is he picks characters of like who are kind of on a hot streak a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we got Andrew Scott. Andrew Scott, he's in my favorite movie, 1917. He's one of the beginning generals. It tells him what the plan is. But he's also in a movie or TV show called Ripley on Netflix, which apparently is very popular right now. He was also in a movie, or he was in Fleabag and All of Us Strangers. And I think he was also in a movie that was nominated for an Oscar. I can't think of the movie right now on the top of my head, but he's kind of a hot actor right now in the space. And then we got Glenn Close, who was also the latest star to join the ensemble. Glenn Close, I mean, she was my favorite movie is definitely 101 Dalmatians with her.
Oh,
she was the villain in it.
Yep.
She was very good. I know she's in like an Apple TV show, like she's there for, but she's just another solid actress and in a face I feel like we all kind of recognize.
Mm-hmm.
Going down the list, we got then Kerry Washington.
Okay.
I gotta stop there because I'll get in trouble. I love her. She is the best, and I'm gonna stop there. But yeah, she's in a lot of things. I mean, she's I guess the voice in The Simpsons. Scandal's her big one, and I think she's been in a couple movies, but I just can't think of what movies they are as well. As well as ending up with the man who defeated the snowplow himself, died doing it, Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. First
so,
movie since the accident.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is the first movie since the accident. And then, of course, ending with Mila Kunis, who, again, I feel like is kind of A-list, but she's so famous now with so many iconic things. Family Guy, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, that 70s show. She can kind of pick and choose her movies. And I feel like this is another good kind of a role for her. But, guys, you see this. Is this potentially going to be the best one yet of the three? I mean, I know the cast of the other ones were also really stacked, but this is turning out to be a pretty fun looking movie as well.
Very exciting. I mean, could be the best cast. I don't know.
Yeah. I just love like the premise of these movies, how witty it is, like a whodunit, but it's just done so well.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they keep on churning them out, I'll keep on watching.
Mm-hmm. And I just rolled it down to the scene of the crime, which the first one took place in kind of like a New England home. Second one took place at the Mediterranean and private island in Greece. Mm-hmm. The third one apparently has been giving us some seriously spooky gothic vibes. I mean, if you guys think of spooky and gothic, what are some locations that'd be kind of cool for this?
New Orleans.
New Orleans could be pretty cool.
Doesn't he have that accent?
Wow, that's a very good point. Oh my God, yeah, go back to where he originally is from.
That could be fun.
Oh, good job there, Brad.
Brad,
damn, you might have solved the case.
You heard it here first.
Oh wow,
my sources were telling me. I just got off the phone.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
Yeah,
we've got good sources.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, we're usually pretty on about those sources. Vu, follow that up. What do you think they'd go?
I don't even think I can after that.
I think that's a really good location.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. I think this is, I think it's pretty cool that these. I remember the last one kind of, took place around COVID-19, which I know some people just cringe at and hate the idea of being reminded of it. But I thought at the same time it also was a good placeholder of, this took place probably during 2020, 2021.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah,
excited.
I'm very excited about it as well. Anything else you guys want to add to this?
I mean, if it's in New Orleans, I mean, wow.
Yeah. I mean, we better
be popping.
Yeah, wake up.
We love the docks.
Yeah. 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 All right, cool, man. Well, that is for everything we know about Knives Out 3. Moving on to the next story. And I feel like we're going at a good pace right now. So let me know if I'm going too fast or if I need to slow down.
It's perfect.
So
You're perfect,
next.
Kev.
Oh man, thank
We
you,
like
dude.
you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Shit.
We like you. We like you.
Great, man. Well, hey, I will take my flowers whenever I can. Sharing my screen again. Next topic is going to be DC's Green Lantern series tabs Damon Lindelof, Ozark showrunner Chris Mundy as writers for it. So when this show was announced back in, I think, 2021, when James Gunn came out and announced that there was going to be kind of a Green Lantern, essentially kind of True Detective-esque series. I think I heard that and went to myself, okay, are they just going to put two guys together who are Green Lanterns, or are they going to have two guys in the Green Lantern universe? How's it going to work? So what we have found out is that they are going to do two Green Lanterns, but they also are actually going to make it to where, when you look at this, make it very similar to the kind of like a True Detective, a little more gritty of a cop story. And I kind of like that idea. I don't know enough about Green Lantern to what he is when it comes to like being an investigator. I don't know if that's a part of his background. And maybe Brad can add a little
cops.
color.
They're the cops of the universe.
Are they? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Cops, protectors, yeah.
So Ryan Reynolds was trying to be like a cop in that movie.
Yeah, because each planet I think has one or two assigned to them, or a sector in the universe, and you're just supposed to protect. But yeah, Ryan, that was pre-Ryan Reynolds' big moment.
Okay.
CG was pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't watched that one yet, so I'm guessing like that's
no, don't, dude. It's like the worst rated. It's like the worst comic book movie of all time, I think.
So bad.
Honestly, if you look at Ryan Reynolds' track record, doesn't have a lot of successes, but near here nor there. So let's go into the director or the writers for this. Lindelof is known as the co-creator and showrunner of the sci-fi series Lost, which I don't know if anyone here is also fans of Lost. I have only seen season 1, but I know it is one of my buddies. It's one of my buddies' favorite shows of all time, like it's top 3. Yeah. So he's obsessed with it. He also did HBO's limited series Watchmen, which won the Emmy for best drama in 2019. And then also he was also on the HBO Supernatural series The Leftovers. Had any of you guys seen that show?
I did. I don't think I finished it, but it is a cool idea. The rapture happens, and it's post-rapture.
That's right. It's like something happens where a third of the people are just go missing or gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But it does have great. All 3 of those shows have great reviews on like Rotten Tomatoes, just great scores on IMDb as well. And then Mundy served as a showrunner on Netflix's series of Ozark. He's been also on Criminal Minds, Cold Case, Bloodline, and True Detective season 4 this last season.
So he knows like crime dramas.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, this seems like it's gonna be very good.
Yeah.
These are some pretty heavy writers. Yeah.
The only thing is Green Lantern has to be heavy CGI because his entire power is making objects out of green energy and stuff. So
yeah,
I think that's also why that movie with Ryan Reynolds was just like not great because it just didn't look good. So
yeah,
maybe they use it sparingly and they focus more on the crime and human aspect of it. But if they can get that right, it'll look cool.
Will this Green Lantern be like the Justice League Green Lantern, or is this just like a side story in the DC universe right now?
I think it will be in the so Lanterns is going to focus on 2 of the best known members of the Green Lantern Corps. Hal Jordan, which is he the main guy?
Yep.
Or is he just the
main
Ryan
one?
Reynolds?
That was Ryan Reynolds.
Okay. And then John Stewart, who I know John Stewart from the I think he was they were in the Justice League, the like TV show.
The animated one, yep.
The animated one. That's the one I know of. Who investigate a mystery that Safran says plays a really big role leading us into the main story that we're telling across our film and television. That's kind of cool. So it is actually not just going to be a side story. It's actually going to be a big, heavy story into the overall plot of the entire DCU going forward.
Okay.
That's kind of cool.
I'm excited now.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
DC's got some stuff cooking.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, They do need it. I mean, has there ever been a successful Green Lantern property? I mean, I know I was a fan when I was a kid, but Ryan Reynolds' movie, I'm sure, ruined it. I've seen the movie, and I don't remember a single thing from it. It was that bad.
Yeah, I mean, the comics are good, but the movie, and I think there's a TV show, but yeah, not good.
Did you like the Green Lantern, I guess, character itself, Brad?
I do. I think that I have a lot of Green Lantern comic books.
That's right. Yes.
I got into it freshman and sophomore year of college, and I just think it's cool. I think the Lantern universe is cool because different colors of lanterns exist based off of different emotions, and there's like conflict and all that. So I think it's a cool idea. Again, it's going to be heavy CGI if they do the power. So that's where I'm skeptical, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I really hope DC CGI improves because that last wave of CGI was rough.
You look back on like the Flash, the fact that it was supposed to look bad because it's his memories and it's all blur and what? I thought that looked so stupid. So now I'm looking back. I was like defending. I'm like, no, guys, he said it's on purpose to look bad like that. I look back.
I was drinking too much of the Tom Cruise Kool-Aid.
I really was. If you guys had to pick somebody to be Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart, gun to your head, I mean, you know, I'd pick Brad Pitt and George Clooney, even though it's supposed to be black. Give George Clooney blackface. I'm kidding. No.
But Glenn Powell.
See, I think I've heard that as well, that he's off on Marvel for something in the DC.
Okay.
Because I think recently there was like a report that came out that he didn't want to be in Marvel. But DC sounds kind of dope.
Yeah.
You mean Michael B. Jordan?
I think Michael B. Jordan's the easiest choice for it. Exactly, right?
Such a cool guy.
Yeah. One of the great faces. And I think one thing, they need to rebuild the legacy of Green Lantern, because you're right, Brad. I mean, Green Lanterns used to be a pretty big character in it. He wasn't even in the new Justice League movies.
Yeah, that's true too.
And I wonder if it was because Ryan Reynolds, that movie was so bad. I don't know. I mean, Vu, who would you like to be? Let's say, all right, so I like Michael B. Jordan. Who would you think, Vu, would be a good character? Oh, I guess you did Glenn Powell. I think that'd be a heavy mix.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a good one too.
Butts and seats.
Yeah. That'd be hands and dune buckets. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be eating a dune bucket every Sunday, baby. Cool, man. Well, I'm glad that now that we're reading this and seeing all this information, I think we're all kind of excited to watch the Green Lantern series. So hopefully we get to it.
I'm excited for them to like start churning out this new wave, this new era of DC. Like,
it seems like
we're all waiting.
Got it together. So. All right, and then I wanted to run through with you guys. We got a few more, of course. I wanted to run through you guys. The summer TV lineup might be the best of all time, and then go through the June movie lineup for itself. So we'll run through this quick. How are we doing on time, guys?
We're doing well.
We're doing well. Okay, good. All right, so this article starts with dragons, lightsabers, and bears. Oh my! The summer 24 promises big things for TV. Sparks and swords will be flying on the screen with the return of major epics like HBO's House of the Dragon and Amazon's Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Plus a new Star Wars series and more murders in that deadly building. Let's jump into things. Also, growing up, didn't we have, like, wasn't the summer you're supposed to be outside and not staying in on a Sunday?
Yeah, I thought like the summer was a slow period for TV.
Right, I did too.
But not now, movies, right? Movies were
always very hot. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely, because people are busy.
Yeah, exactly, right. But I guess now with TV, there's no longer a thing for appointment television.
Yeah,
or with streaming. I mean, but we're starting off with this. So, The Acolyte, Disney Plus, will be released on June 4th. It's going to be released every Tuesday, and I don't know if we've kind of brought this up, but the story is just, it's about essentially, it's a set 100 years before the 1999 prequel, the film The Phantom Menace. Acolyte follows a rogue Jedi student known as the Padawan Learner, played by Amanda Stenberg, and the chaos she causes for the Jedi Order. Chasing her are Squid Game star Lee Jung-jae, which I think he looks so sick in the trailers, and Carrie-Anne Moss from The Matrix. Dying robes, they sense a disturbance in the Force. The teaser showed a masked person wielding a red lightsaber, and in case you forgot what bad guys in the Star Wars universe look like. Essentially, it's like the growing. It's the beginning of the dark side in the Star Wars universe. Vu, have you seen a lot for this at all, or are you excited for this being a Star Wars guy? And Brad, will this potentially be on your watch list?
I almost forgot this was coming out, but I will be tuning in.
Okay. Especially if it gets good word of mouth, would you check it out, Vu?
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars hasn't come out with a bad show yet, right?
Not really. No,
yeah,
I don't necessarily think so.
Like, especially live action, like they've done pretty well. So
yeah,
I expect this one just to fall on the path of great television.
Yeah. Brad, does this intrigue you?
I'd say this is a show where you guys, after watching it for a little bit, are gonna have to convince me.
Okay.
Just because I'm not the biggest Star Wars person. I watched like maybe the second season of Mandalorian.
Okay.
I watched the movies. I enjoy the movies, but for whatever reason, the TV, I don't know. I never really got into it. So if you guys are telling me, and you're telling the fans out there that this is must watch, I'll get it on it.
All right, man. We'll try our best. We'll try our best. Hopefully
they put out good work then.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice. Clipped. That's coming also out on June 4th by Hulu. Essentially, is going to be the story of the Clippers owner Donald Sterling spewing a racist rant that will lose him his team. It's the leaked audio of the disgraced owner, and it's essentially from the same stories as I think like American Horror Story. It's like from that kind of that group who did all those kind of stories. Have you guys heard of this, or has this intrigued you at all, or have you guys never even seen this?
Yeah, I saw a trailer. I mean, they interviewed like Doc Rivers, the head coach during that time. So it sounds like it's just like the Last Dance kind of thing, like a look back on a period of the NBA that was pretty crazy. And
like, do you guys remember that like happening? Like,
yeah, I do, but I don't remember. I just remember like thinking they'll get a new owner. Like they always get new owners. Isn't that when the guy from Microsoft bought them? Was when this happened?
Yep, Steve Ballmer.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be good, and it's one of those things. If it gets good word of mouth, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. I mean, I'm trying to think whoever the showrunner was. There's only 6 episodes.
It's Lawrence Fishburne, right?
As Doc Rivers. Yep. Trying to think who's gonna be the showrunner for this. It's not really saying. Well, I don't know. Should be a show we should check out. Hopefully June 4th.
Yeah. We got options.
We got options so far. June 4th. June 4th is gonna be. It's gonna be the Clipto Light. It's gonna be Clipto Light weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, it's literally next weekend. This summer is starting to fly. I can't believe it's June already.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But all right.
Time goes by when you're fapping.
Yeah, when you're constantly fapping at home. I mean, time does really fly by. The Boys, June 13th. This is a big one for me. Do you guys, anybody else interested in The Boys?
I should have gotten into it more.
It's on my list to watch.
I think you'd like it, Vu. Brad,
I watched the first season.
Explain your statement. Explain yourself.
I watched the first season and I liked it, but I don't know. It just didn't keep me.
Okay.
I don't know, but from what I've heard and been seeing, I am very interested because is the company named like Voight.
Yep, Vought.
Right, Vought, and like the whole Homelander thing.
I think Homelander is a top 5 villain of all time right now. I think he is amazing. I fantasize about him, a Homelander and Superman movie a lot when I'm fapping. So I don't know. I just wanted you guys. I think you guys should check it out. But I'm very excited for season 4. I think it's one of those shows also that has gotten better every season.
Ooh.
And it's better than the comics, everyone says too. I never read them, but that's what everyone's been saying.
Oh, this is based off of real comics?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
So I do recommend that.
Amazon's on a little bit of a run right now.
I do think so. This summer might be big for them. House of the Dragon comes out June 16th. Brad's not going to see it. I'm not going to see it. Moving on. Boys, what do you guys think? Vu, I know you had a tough time finishing it. You have one more episode left?
I have 2 left, but I will finish it before this starts up again.
Okay. And Brad, they are releasing it weekly, correct? I hope they're not just Yeah, I think they would.
Oh, it's HBO, baby. It's weekly.
Yeah. So, Brad, tell me your excitement, man.
I can't emphasize this enough. I was talking to fan of the pod, Justin, who has not yet been on the pod, but
got to get him
massive Game of Thrones House of the Dragon
Let's
fan.
have him on to discuss this.
And he thinks this could go down. Season 2 is one of the best, most intense seasons of TV because of what they're going to cover.
Wow.
Like, it's going to be very intriguing. It's going to be very, like, you're going to be shocked, I bet. I'm not going to be expecting some things. And so I am very excited to see how they do it on TV.
Oh, man.
I think I'm really excited too. And it ended on a high note. It ended on a little bit of a barn burner of a excitement scene. Would you agree, Brad?
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I love
it. Now you guys want me? I gotta go finish it tonight.
That's what I'm saying, Boo. You gotta get it in quick. You gotta get it in quick. Just like me in bed, baby. Come on. Yeah, in and out. All right, here we go. The Bear coming out June 27th. So we have gone through so far the main 4 shows I feel like that are coming out in June, but I think The Bear is gonna be a great cherry on top for the month of June for television, maybe being the greatest month of all time. You guys discussed this last week a little bit, so we don't have to talk too much about it. I'm excited. Are you guys excited?
Very excited.
So excited. I just rewatched the first 2 seasons last weekend.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Let's go.
Just to jog the memes.
Yep. Tell me, Vu, since it's right in your or right in your head and in the memory box there. What are you looking forward to maybe, or do you have any expectations for it?
I think the character development, like especially in season 2, was top notch. You know, like literally chef's kiss. No pun intended.
No pun intended. How do you think he returns after having a maniacal breakdown?
That's the thing. Like, I don't know how much further and how much longer they can push this. Like, season 2 was so good that I don't want to be like let down. But like, is there a way for it to get even better? Like, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right. So it looks like we're all excited about that. Industry comes out on HBO. It's a show with Harry Lottie and newcomer Kit Harington. Has anyone here seen Industry? For there to be a newcomer?
I'm glad he's still on the roster at HBO.
Yeah. I mean, it says, following a group of young and hungry vying for wealth and power at a British investment bank, Industry may seem dry on the outside, but it's a juicy meal of melodrama and spectacle on the inside. Season 3?
Oh, it's already out.
Uh-oh.
Is this like the British Succession?
I wonder if this is like the British Succession in a way or something.
Yeah.
Huh. Have you heard of it, Brad, or no?
I have not heard of it. And
all right.
I'm actually curious as to
86% Rotten Tomatoes.
Interesting. Okay. I might check that out. Anyone here a fan of Emily in Paris?
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
It's a Netflix one. All right, Emily, sorry. And then Only Murders in the Building. Have you guys seen that at all?
Another show I've never watched an episode of.
But I hear a lot of hype about it.
Yeah.
And I actually did watch one episode. It's a really well-written show. And I think Martin Short, as comical as he is pretty funny in it. And just also having Steve Martin in it. I mean, they wouldn't be in a show if it was pretty good. Also, they're probably getting a good payday from Hulu.
Yeah.
With this death rate, someone's got to check for asbestos in the building. That's how they describe it. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, looks like they're going to be Meryl Streep is in it.
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy, Molly Shannon, Eva Longoria, Eugene Levy, Kumail Nanjiani, Zach Galifianakis. It might be on my list someday to actually check it out, but we'll see.
Wait, isn't this the one with Selena Gomez and Steve Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, should be exciting. And this is one, I think this has the potential, if they really listen to the fans, realize we've spent $3 billion on this property, we have to figure things out. This could be great, or it could be a repeat of what we had to go through the first time around. But the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, season 2. Are you guys going to give this a chance? And what do you guys think of this?
I tried to watch season 1. I think I watched like 15 minutes of the first episode.
Okay.
I went to that.
That's it?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But I also heard so many bad things about season 1 that I was like, I don't even want to like invest time into this.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the IMDb. It has 100% on episode 4. It then also has episodes where it's like 60%.
Oh,
and I've heard it's like fan fiction in a way almost because it's not going off Tolkien.
Oh,
but Brad, what you were about to say something there.
I mean, it's just such a bore. Like, it looks beautiful. Every episode, I watched all of it. I was just like, had.
Oh, you did
all of it.
Okay, you got to give us what.
Yeah,
you got to go into it. Then is it worth it to you?
Not at all. Waste of time.
Oh, it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's the news that I've been getting.
Do you guys know anything about that guy there that's head cut off?
Head cut off.
This one right here. Now that you can see him,
he gets his head. Oh, you're saying it was cut off there?
Yeah.
No idea who he is.
Okay, so that's
no, he's fucking, what's his dick? He's I thought he was the bad guy.
Yeah,
he's about to be Sauron.
Yeah. So I mean, that's interesting.
So that's interesting to see. Okay,
is that like a twist in the first season?
What do you say?
Is that a twist in the first season? Like that's
I think the last episode you find out that he's like Sauron. It's still confusing though because he's like a human and Sauron's not really a human. But
is he maybe like representing in the bot like a body?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
But again, beautiful show. You'd look at that show and you'd be like, "Holy cow, this is clearly $1 billion." And then you see the acting and what goes on, and you're like, "This is really boring."
Yeah. You're right. It was beautiful to watch.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I might put it on because I still like that whole world and it's interesting, but
I will give it a chance.
It can't get worse, right?
I think you're right.
Point.
I think you're right. It can't get any worse. The trailer. Did you guys see the trailer or no?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if I forgot to share it with you guys, but yeah, the trailer looks decent. $3 billion. They have to figure it out.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things. This show, I think, is the difference between Amazon being a true player, going against HBO and going against FX, or being, because you can't have a failure like this. I've been waiting for a Lord of the Rings TV show to be like Game of Thrones for the longest time. And for a show like this to come out and just have such a funk of a first season, I really think they need to fix it. I mean, can we think of shows where that second season really fixed the TV show? I know Sopranos second season was amazing to me compared to the first season. That's a good question we should go through if there's been shows with second season that have really fixed it.
The Bear.
I mean, I liked the first season too, but it would be such a dramatic turn because I guess, does anyone know what the Rotten Tomatoes score of the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power is?
Oh, I can tell you.
I doubt it's high.
Rotten Tomatoes 83%.
It gave it an 83.
That's not bad.
I wonder if Jeff Bezos paid some bots to ramp it up.
Yeah. What's the audience score? Did it say that there? I bet that's low.
IMDb's 7 out of 10. Audience score. What do you think it is?
67.
38.
Oh my God. So that's more what I think it's around. I follow the audience score a little bit more, or I try to mix it in together.
Jeez, that is not great. That's not passing.
I did do a quick Google, and I think this answers perfect to what you're saying about TV show, Parks and Recreation.
Okay. Yes, you're right. First season of Parks and Rec was actually pretty mid. And then Andy came in as more of a character in the second season.
And Ben Wyatt.
Yeah, Ben Wyatt. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, cool. I mean, I think we've got a very electric summer season for television. Boys, at top, gun to your head, what's the number one show you guys are looking forward to?
Ooh, House of the Dragon for me, but also Bear. I'm late to the party. Very late.
I have to say the Bear.
Yeah, I would say the Bear for me too. Yeah, I think I want, if you guys can mark that, I kind of think that'd be a fun little.
Oh, for the shorts.
The shorts. That's all.
Yeah.
We can edit this out. All right, moving on to. Oh my gosh, sorry guys, we're getting in there. But we're going through quick, I promise you. The June movie lineup. All right, guys, here we go. So coming out. This is for people out there who are just wondering. We don't have to give too much information, but Bad Boys Ride or Die is the first the June movie coming out this summer. I've actually heard good reviews about this movie. Thoughts on it, guys?
I haven't seen the other ones, so it's hard for me to get hyped for this.
Do you think Will Smith can come back from the slap with this movie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Brad, are you interested or no?
No, but I think I did see a clip that Messi's in it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he speaks English, and he sounds goofy.
Yeah, I saw that too. Hitman also coming out on Netflix with Glenn Powell. Has a 98% Rotten Tomato score. So we should check it out. Yeah. It looks really good.
That guy's hot right now, huh?
He really is firing on all cylinders.
Like physically and in the biz, yes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Coming out then June 14th, Inside Out 2 and The Watchers. You guys can see either or. I'm going to see Inside Out 2, and I'll check out The Watchers if it's got decent
Both
reviews.
of them. I'm intrigued by Watchers.
I am too.
M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, directorial debut.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Boo?
Is it in the blood, though, to have a good twist but not a good movie?
Yeah. We'll have to see about that. That's a very good point. Boo, what do you think, man?
Yeah. Rachel and I were just talking about watching Inside Out 1 because I haven't seen it yet.
Yep.
So
that's right. Remember we said Bing Bong and then
Yep. So
yep.
I have good if it lives up to the hype, then I will be seeing number 2.
Yep. Brad, you and I got to see. This is our second Pixar movie. Hopefully we can see it together. The first one didn't live up to the hype. Hopefully this one does a little bit better.
Elementals was bad.
Not good. Then coming out on Friday, June 21st is going to be Kinds of Kindness, the next movie with Emma Stone, Hunter Schafer. It's a Lorgos movie, if I recall. He did, what was the last movie where Emma Stone was in it?
Pretty Things.
Oh, Poor Things.
Poor Things, that's what it was, yep. And then Bike Riders is also coming out on June 21st. What do you guys think?
Bike Riders I was also interested in. Not usually my kind of movie, but
it had Tom Hardy, Austin Butler, Jodie Comer.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm. Did you guys like Poor Things?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good.
I did.
Yeah.
I tried watching it and I stopped 30 minutes in.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. But I don't know if I just need to give it more time or... What
was the thing that stopped you from finishing? Because I think this is a Lagos. I think that's I'm sure Kinds of Kindness will be very similar to that kind of where it's a little bit more of a...
I just thought it was really slow. Really slow.
Oh, yeah. I think it's more artsy.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. More artsy. Definitely.
I just really like Mark Ruffalo, and I thought his character was ridiculous.
I don't even think I got to Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, you didn't even get to that part?
No.
Oh, that's when it really gets good. But then, dang, it's still long from there. I mean, it is a long movie. It's 2.5 hours long. So, cool, man. All right, and then A Quiet Place Day 1 is the last movie of the year, of June, coming out on June 28th. Are you guys excited for A Quiet Place? Are you guys fans of the Quiet Place series?
I don't think I saw the second one.
Oh, okay. The second one's still really good.
Very solid movie.
I mean, do you guys remember?
Cillian Murphy's in it, I think, right?
Yes, Cillian Murphy's in it. Smiles. Yeah, the scariest part of the movie. No, yeah, literally the aliens ran away from him in it. He just went, we survived. And they're like, I wonder who wins the Cillian Murphy Smile of the Year this year.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if we get him smiling in anything else. But yeah, I think I'm very excited. Do you guys remember the hype, the original one, when the first one came out? The idea that it was such a unique and it was so cool. I remember being in the movie theater and you could hear people chewing popcorn slowly and even can't it was so quiet because the movie emphasized on the idea of being extremely quiet and then being extremely loud for the scary parts.
Yeah. That's the first time I was like, oh, John Krasinski can be something else other than Jim.
Yeah, man. That movie, I think, for sure, put him into the limelight. People wanted him to be more of a hero and, kind of a I know I wanted him in the MCU from that point on. He was a stud.
We got him as Mr. Fantastic for just a tiny little bit.
Yeah, we did. It's kind of funny. Imagine, that episode of The Office where he puts, I think, his computer in Jell-O or something like that, or his keyboard in Jell-O.
Dwight Stapler.
Yeah, Dwight Stapler. The scene where the kid dies because his train his little toy train starts going off. And it'd be funny if it was like a prank that his kid with the toy train was in Jell-O. I think that'd be really funny if that
just the way to tie it all.
Yeah, just the tie. I'm like, oh, I watched The Office. That was really good. Okay, how are you gonna get the kid out of there? You can't work with a kid in Jell-O.
Oh, man. You should pitch that idea to him through the DMs.
I probably should have. Yeah. Hopefully I don't get canceled for that one. But yeah, so I think May started off hot, and we'll go into the May as our final story today. I think the other one, we have one more other than that, but I think we can probably push that one. But I think June is going to be a month that doesn't have a ton of great movies coming out. I'm a little nervous about what box office is going to look like, but maybe some of the movies that came out in May will be able to make up a little bit of steam in June. Or I know I'm excited for Quiet Place 1. And then also not Elemental, but
Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2. Inside Out 2.
You excited for Elemental Round 2?
Yeah, the re-release. Yeah, the director's cut. Yeah, the director's cut's about 4 hours long, dude.
Oh my god.
So yeah, should be a fun little month. I know we got about 10 minutes before Vu has to go. I don't know if Brad, you got to head out right after too. We don't have much going on left, but all right, guys, here we go. The last story I just want to talk about is that this past weekend was the lowest Memorial Day box office in 30 years. As you guys all know, Furiosa came out this weekend, but movies like The Fall Guy, I know that the movie, the Planet of the Apes movie actually is going to make a profit. It was $160 million budget, and it's made over $300 million, so that is going to make a profit. But movies like, Furiosa and The Fall Guy so far are not on track to do this, resulting in the lowest weekend in the last 30 years for Memorial Day box office, which usually is when families come together to go, watch movies with each other. And I know all the three of us. I mean, I saw the movies this weekend, but did anybody else have a chance to see anything or go to the movies?
I did not.
No.
Okay, and then this article even says we're part of the problem. I mean, this one even says a mix of underperforming films and the impact of strikes have led to the worst start to the summer theaters has seen in decades. And when they go into, there's a lot of things here. But if you guys got to hop off at 1:20, I can end the episode with doing my reviews of the other shows too, or the movies I've seen. So hop off whenever you guys got it. But they go into about the fact that this summer may have been impacted by the strikes last year. Like you look at things like Pixar's Elio, Mission Impossible 8, and Deadpool Wolverine getting moved due to production delays caused by last year's strike. I'm trying to think here. They go into it saying theatrical is a very fragile ecosystem. Anything that disrupts it has a ripple effect down the line. It took a long time to get here, and it's going to take an even longer time to get out of it. And it goes beyond any big hit that makes us think everything's great again, or a film that doesn't work and keeps the numbers down. With no films performing strongly at the end of April, the box office was already on the back foot to start the summer season, and the slump only compounded, given that there was no Marvel. We only have one Marvel movie, which I think we all agree we like the idea of that. And I think maybe general consensus on Marvel is that it's been on a little bit of a losing streak, so it's good to get a fresh re-break. But when you look at the history, Marvel being in theaters, it brings people to the theaters.
Yeah.
So, and then they also bring in the fact that Furiosa and Garfield are not 4-quadrant tentpoles. I don't know what I've heard people talk about this, what 4-quadrant even means, but I just think when you look at Furiosa, it doesn't necessarily have the Mad Max saga to it. I think a Mad Max movie sequel could have done better, but Furiosa being a prequel doesn't necessarily help it. And Garfield's a character from the newspaper back in the day. Yeah. So I just feel like it's just not very popular with kids nowadays. And then the last thing they go into is just that audiences are more selective with inflation, with COVID, ever since COVID, and with the fact we're already paying for all these different services around here. For me to go to a movie, it has to kind of be an experience / kind of an event, kind of like a Barbenheimer, or not for me, but maybe a lot of people out there. Mm-hmm. People can always say they can always skip this one, or the theaters, the ones that they'll see in theaters, they can wait until it's home and we can watch it at home with the family, like Garfield or Fall Guy. So with all these different things here, What are you guys' thoughts on this article? What do you guys think of the current state of this weekend, and also just so far the summer season not really coming off to a hot start?
Makes me sad. I looked it up. It's young, old, male, female. Those are the 4 quadrants.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh.
So they just haven't been hitting, I guess.
Yeah, which is sad because I heard that Furiosa is actually a really good movie too.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a great movie. It's got good reviews. It's not as good as Fury Road, if you ask me, but it is a very good movie.
Yeah. Sad that my boy Chris Pratt couldn't get it done with Garfield.
Yeah, not even his star power could bring it up.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Hemsworth was in Furiosa, and he was the main villain. I mean,
That's true.
Our friend, Christina of the show, she has literally loved Furiosa. She gave a great review on it. She thought Chris Hemsworth, this is his best work he's done. So
he needed it.
He did need it. Yeah. And you look at his background, we had him in our list as top actors, but he wasn't necessarily, he didn't have a lot of very big successes with the masses.
Yeah.
So, what other things do you guys think when you look at this? I mean, what was the reason I guess you were busy, but is it harder for you guys to go to movie theater? I know, Brad, you've got a lot going on. Vu, I mean, I don't know too much of what you got going on in your day-to-day, but I guess did some of these not intrigue you? You know, what are some reasons why you maybe haven't seen them yet?
If I were to go to a movie theater, I think the first movie I'd see out of like the options would be Planet of the Apes. I mean, I'm just busy though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Friends, family.
It's a busy time, yeah.
So
for sure.
Want to spend quality time with them, and yeah. So,
well, tell them you have a podcast.
Yeah, you got a job to do.
Got to go to work.
I can't slack at work anymore.
Yeah, we gotta get some T-shirts to sell. Damn it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I got you. I just know myself. I understand it. I mean, Furiosa it just didn't have a lot. I mean, I do think the big thing is the writer's strike is impacting this. At the end of the day, I do think that it's one of those situations where I think some of these movies. I mean, I think I do agree. I think maybe with Marvel not really being out there, it really has impacted people just going to movie theaters. And but I also think the biggest thing, a lot of these movies, I think a lot of people can just say, let's wait and watch it when it gets released, and we can save a couple bucks. And we can watch it on HBO Max or watch it on Netflix or whatever it may be released on.
Yep.
I know, Vu, that's a big thing for you. I feel like.
Yeah. A lot of those like one-off movies, like Iron Claw that we were talking about earlier in our text chain. Like I was waiting for that because I knew it was going to be on some streaming service sometime. So
yeah. No, I completely understand. Yeah, I mean, I think COVID, I just don't truly think movies really have returned back to what they were before COVID. I think it's been hard. I think, again, inflation, there's a lot of different things that go into it. I think this summer is going to be a weird year. I don't think this is going to be forever. Someone compared this to what the late 90s, and I don't agree with this, but somebody compared this to what the late 90s, what going to like the arcade was. Where when you were going to the arcade, you had your Mortal Kombat, you had your Sonic, you had all these different games you could play, but then the game system started coming out. The game systems in this point would be the streaming services. Yeah. And because of that, there's not really any arcades out there. But I go against that because I know somebody who also comes with the comparison of, okay, well then let's look at like Broadway. Broadway's been around since the 1800s or early 1900s. It's not the same as what it was. But it still is very successful because people go and see specific things like a Jurassic Park maybe, or like a Marvel, or like a Quiet Place. We'll see with that one, but you know what I mean? Or like a Pixar movie. It just may not be a thing where you go on a Friday night and you show up not knowing what's out there. I think people are more thinking to themselves, okay, what movies come out in June? What movies come out in May? What do I want to see? What do I want to put $20 towards? And if I have kids, what do I want to put almost $100 a night into?
Yeah.
Do you think at some point big networks are just going to start putting movies directly onto like streaming services and then just like create a new premium tier where you have to be like on the highest level to see that movie right away? I guess like they're probably already doing this, but eventually just phasing out movie theaters completely for some movies.
I think it'll be one of those things that I think we're seeing it, that movies that are made for theaters, I think budgets are going to be slashed going forward. And I think movie theaters are just going to be more of a selective thing. You're not going to see a lot of Anyone But You in a movie theater. You're not gonna, unless it has a good budget. You're not gonna see a lot. Like I think it's if you don't have something that's a little more tangible for a budget, it won't be in theaters anymore, and it may be on something like what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Brad?
Yeah, that's a good point, especially like an Anyone But You kind of thing. Like that to me screams perfect Netflix movie now.
For sure.
For
sure. It was the number one on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah. And so maybe movie theaters are just gonna be there for like I don't want to see like the Dunes and stuff because that's just a massive movie, but like spectacle movies, theater movies, where you want to go and see in the big screen, the big sounds and all that.
Yeah, like and stuff with just crazy hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, I don't think this will be the only time we talk about this. I'm sure we're going to be talking about. I don't see June being that huge either, so I'm sure we'll be bringing this back up. So I think this is a good start to the conversation that we will be talking throughout the summer. Hopefully we'll get some highs. Hopefully, I know we'll get some lows. But at the same time, no matter what, we'll be there to be discussing it. So, guys, I think this is a good end to the episode here. We can do reviews, maybe like a May, movie review next episode or something like that. Yeah. I have a lot of movies, so gives you guys some time to check in and catch up as well. But guys, where can the people find you on your socials?
Don't ever find me though, but check out our YouTube at Filmaholics.
There we
go.
One
word.
Yes.
What's our Instagram? Filmaholics Entertainment.
ENT, I think. Or is it, I think it's Filmaholics Entertainment.
Yep.
We need to have the damn list up. I'm very bad about this, but download this, guys. Check it out. Anything else you guys want to say to end the episode?
Keep fapping. 1 year. So happy for it. Looking forward to 2 years, 3 years, a decade. Just stay with us.
Yeah, almost 1,000 downloads, and we can't do it without our listeners. So thank you for tuning in, guys.
I completely agree, man. Find us on all those social networks. I think we put them all into our descriptions. Boys, enjoy yourselves. We'll talk next week. Keep fapping out there, people. We love you. And we love that you guys love movies as well.
Yep. Wolves and 7.
Yeah, Wolves and 7. Let's go.